Hi, I'm the Goblin, and welcome to my grotto, where I paint and showcase tabletop miniatures. This is the part 2 to a 4-part series where I attempt to paint 20 miniatures, culminating with me painting my 222nd miniature on 2/22/2022, aka my attempt at the Tuesday Challenge, issued by my partner. So, be sure to check out part 1 if you've missed it. Now, on to today's business. Well, business is indeed the focus, as I started things off with the Tiefling Barkeep from Wildspire Miniatures' Heroic Townsfolk miniature set. I don't have a lot of Tiefling miniatures, let alone NPC ones. In fact, I don't have any NPC Tieflings, and of my over 1,000 miniatures painted or unpainted that I have, I think I have less than 5 total Tiefling minis, and 1 or 2 of them are probably not even specifically tieflings, just tiefling adjacent looking people. Yeah, for as much as people joke about everyone wanting to play tieflings, they sure don't make a lot of minis representing them. I mean, granted, unless you want to RP Tavern Keeper, I suppose this isn't necessarily a great player character tiefling mini either, but it is a neat way to populate your tavern settings. I really like the jovial look on his face, like he just overheard something funny or finished telling a joke about the clientele. I layered a lot of reds on his skin. That was fun. Finding the right colors to match was really good. I originally thought I was going to make bright horns, but I ended up not even really painting them. I just kind of left them as they were with the primer. Yeah, I think this guy would really stand out on the table and could make for quite a memorable NPC for any future parties, as is the case with most of the characters you can pull out of the Wildspire miniature set. Okay, mini number 6 out of the way. That's mini number 208 overall. Next, I'm taking a crack at this Tortle from WizKids. It came in a set with one other. WizKids tends to release minis in pairs like this, usually representing the same character at different levels. I will probably end up painting them as completely different individuals, though. Still, this to me looks like a lower level druid or wizard or just generally a spellcaster of some sort. The unique challenge here is the spell effect in the hand, which I'm going to put off as long as I can. I don't paint a lot of clear minis, in fact I kind of avoid it. Some of my past experiences with the matter have not been all that great, and yet here we are. I'm going with a standard yellow flame for this, making use of the Reaper orange flame as opposed to putting a red on there. And I think it'll turn out okay. For the body, I'm going with a typical green-brown turtle. I know this guy's giving some Master Oogway vibes, but unlike that guy, this guy has some somewhat fancy robes on, it appears, or shawls, whatever this clothing would be referred to as. I layered a lot of blues and gave little gold tassels on everything. Resting on the right hip of this guy is a pouch that appears to be some kind of bag of holding. So I looked up the artwork, and it does seem to match. So I did my best to try and paint what I saw there. It's not perfect, but I think I did a pretty good job. About as close as I can do something on that scale, especially with my hands being what they are. I've had this mini on my shelf unpainted for quite some time, and I'm glad I finally got around to painting it. And I think I did a pretty bang up job with it too. Even the flame turned out pretty good. So, it's on to the next. Next up is Wildspire's Dwarf Blacksmith. I really like this figure, in large part due to the expression on their face, which I understand may be hard to see on camera, but I assure you it's just a nice, well-captured facial expression. This mini is also neat as it could serve as either a townsfolk mini or even a combat character. The little anvil appears to actually have wheels under it. Might be difficult while working on it in a controlled environment, but imagine if it were enchanted to move around and follow this blacksmith around their shop, or even into battle. What if this blacksmith could take their craft onto the battlefield, slinging hot iron and hammering spells down onto their foes? Sounds like a pretty cool character to me. Yeah, I get a lot of inspiration from this little mini, and I'm pretty happy of how my paint job of it turned out. Would definitely be willing to put this into any game as either a important side character, or heck, even if it inspired me enough to play as a character. But enough about this one, it's time to move on to the next. Some of the first ever minis I painted were Minotaurs, so it seems only fitting that I include at least one of these in this series. And this is the Reaper Miniatures Bloodhoof. I mean, with a name like that, I just have to include some blood and gore on this figure, but first I have to lay the foundation. I have a lot of different Minotaur minis painted up already, most of which are some shade of brown. I decided to take this one in a more pale, dilapidated shade, teetering on the edge of grayscale initially. Making the main body more pale, I think, will really make the bright reds of the dripping and splattering blood really pop. In addition, I wanted to make sure what clothing and armor he happened to be wearing also matched this aesthetic. And of course, I had to get a little blood on the hooves. Yeah, it's always good to get another Minotaur painted up. I don't know why, I'm not necessarily super obsessed with Minotaurs, or maybe I am, because I own so many and I've painted so many. It's just a thing. You think it'd be goblins, huh? Anyways, last, but certainly not least, is mini number 10, mini number 212 overall. Yes, we're halfway through the challenge. I know this guy is probably quite friendly, but I can't really blame anyone for thinking he's just downright creepy looking. I don't know if it's the awkward gait, the extra long arms, the wave, the toothy grin, the sunken eyes, or the tilted top hat. Something about this guy sure gives me the heebie-jeebies. You know, maybe it's all of those things, actually. Well, Discount Babadook is getting all the works with a blue, dark skin color and a raggedy black outfit. This guy really stands out in the crowd and is one of the best minis from the townsfolk said, in my opinion. I could see him easily portraying a misunderstood NPC, someone who's perfectly friendly and just happens to be born into the creepiest body he could. Or heck, maybe he really is some kind of supernatural foe for the party to come up against. Either way, I think this will make a great addition to my collection. And with that, we've reached the halfway point. Join me next time as I paint my way through the penultimate set of minis, 11 to 15. If you enjoyed the content, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out. Also, I just launched my very own Ko-fi. Ko-fi is a service that allows creators to share all manner of content with their fans and supporters in a clean, concise space. I'll be using it as a hub of sorts, and it'll be the best place to keep in touch. In addition, Ko-fi allows its users to donate directly to creators, either in a one-time offering or in reoccurring donations to the amount of your choosing. If you are interested in supporting what I'm doing here, either with a donation or simply by following along, you can head to ko-fi.com/grottogoblin. That's ko-fi.com/grottogoblin, all one word. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, and let's go paint some minis. Take care.